For over 115 years, the Carreta Cemetery had engraved different stories in its history. With every bit of its structures and old niches provokes a sense of sentimentality and gives value to the once gone whom we would like to recall, from the crying moments of the families sending their members to their last day on earth, to how residents living in the cemetery celebrate every time there is a burial. Now, come, join us as we unravel both the fortunes and hardships of the living as they clasp the horrors of the dead, whom both have been occupying the very same place.
We are here right now at the Carreta Burial Ground, which is located meters away from the infamous Cebu City, Philippines. It is quite an interesting thing because not anyone would have thought that a place like this lies between the walls of the active Queen City of the South.
Most of us are afraid staying long at a graveyard, especially at night, because of the horror stories that were passed on from generations to generations. However, there are Filipinos who consider this horror-filled place a home.
And indeed, it sparks another mystery yet to us, which make us become more curious about the people inside this area without proper education, stable jobs, and enough resources like electricity and water to survive at a place like this.
Ako diri ko nagdako, gamay pa ko diri ko nataw nya diri sad akong mga igsuon naminyo, nagkuala ko sa akong mga anak nagating na sa pag-eskwela. Koran ka nang kami dyan diri kanang panghawaon naman yung mismo tayo diri kay dili man sa mga buhay para sa patay man diri. Na ako'y pangandoy na akong mga anak na gusto kong makita sila trabaho nga mawa sila sa cemetery tarong na ang skill.
In an interview with a resident here, I have learned that most of them don't have a choice but to live in this unimaginable place. Residents here have nowhere to go. They don't have money to start a new life, and most of them haven't finished school, and this cemetery is the best place where they can temporarily stay. These families were already given help from different organizations offering education, employment, and settlement. However, they refused to stay on the relocation site offered to them due to inaccessibility of jobs. As per the residents, living in this graveyard is far way better than staying on the given relocation site.
Some relatives of the dead asked the residents to be the caretaker of the grave sites and mausoleums of their loved ones in exchange for 30 to 200 pesos wage per month. However, most of these transactions are left forgotten by the customers. Children also wait for extra-packed lunches or snacks prepared for people who attend burial ceremonies called the tawiwit. These foods help children have energy and survive the day.
For years now, people have to fetch water outside and pay 6 pesos per gallon. Most of them also do illegal tapping so they could have electricity. They don't have comfort rooms and dispose of their waste into open areas. These activities pose high risk to the community's health and sanitation.
Garbage is one of the biggest problems in the Philippines, and cemeteries are one of the massive contributors to it. During November, numerous waste collections take place. It is because people usually stay over and pray over their loved ones during All Souls Day. It may not be a big problem to have numerous people in the cemetery, however, the wastes are not being disposed of properly. In fact, last All Saints and All Souls Day 2019, the Cebu City Environment and Natural Resources Office and the Department of Public Services collected approximately 23 metric tons of garbage from 4 cemeteries of Cebu. As a result, many cemeteries are polluted, which also gave way to infectious bacteria such as E. coli. The common diseases that the settlers in cemeteries have are stomachache, fever, cough, and common colds, which are the common result of the bacteria inhabiting in the environment.
Ang pangalan ako si Jema Rosal, ang edad nako 10. Ang pangalan ko si Kyle Boris, ang edad nako 9. Pulis. Yan ko akong pandak ko nga dag Lord diri. Ako sad pulis. Puminti mamiri dun diri. Pag mayatay sa mga papalit bugal ang uban kayo sa alkansiya. Di ko ganang po yun. Bati kay daray. Kaya nga naman. Imong tulgan nitso. Nanay mong tulgan ay babawa na. Ganahan kog balay jud. Nanindot. Ganahan kog balag kamong balay kompre. Bisa makapuyo ang
The 4-hectare cemetery is mostly made up of concrete cement and mausoleums built to protect the dead, carrying the coffin, cementing the cover, digging up bones and remains inside the tomb are the common livelihood of the residents here, where they earn 20 to 50 pesos. Some children are bullied at school by their classmates after knowing that they live in a graveyard, causing these children to stop going to school and just stay at the cemetery to work. They scrape candle wax and sell it to candle makers inside the cemetery, in which a kilo of used wax cost 20 to 25 pesos.
While most of us stay at our comfortable homes, enjoying the luxury of well-lighted and ventilated rooms, the security of these families staying in this vast graveyard is questionable. Rumor says that some criminals also live in the site in order to hide and avoid getting caught by authorities. Some also resort to doing illegal activities such as digging valuables buried together with the bodies.
Settlers in Carreta's source of income includes making and selling candles. As they live in an area where the central purpose is the burial ground of the dead, people learned how to make candles at such a young age. They make candles using a traditional process of molding them. On an ordinary day, they only earn more or less 200 pesos.
I'm Jason Amparado, 28 years of age. Yeah, session 1 are is from 5 years old to 8 years old. So kanang batch kay kuan gyud kanang session kay murag makahurot gyud og energy. Makahurot og energy kay kuan magud mga kids, mga bata. So sabihin pa ka nga kids, silent, sit properly, wagid murag later on few seconds so nakiyat na parog na or kuan na. So when ang session 2 is mostly gid nila mamina gid majority nila kay nagbutang makog rule gud sa session 2. When I meet the kids, that time I realized na they need someone to guide them, to teach them, to achieve their dreams. Even the kids, like they have dreams nga magbinan sila sana cruise sa Manginasal, cruise sa Jollibee. Anong ganan mag-cruise sa Jollibee? Kaya ganahan sila mukhawan ng french fries. What a dream, di ba? I mean, just like a innocent kid, I mean, dreaming to work in a Jollibee because she wants to eat french fries because delicious ko no, lami.
Ako si Angel, 5 years na ako. Ganahan ko sige mag-doktor.
My name is Angel May, 30 years old. My dream is to be a nurse.
My name is April H. Diloan, 10 years old. I want to be a police. Ako si Chelsea, 7 years old ako nga lang gusto ko maging nurse. Hi, and Chisa Meta Langit, 11 years old, ginahan ko maging police. Ako si Stella Arlaya. I'm 8 years old. Ganahan ko mag-police.
My name is Ferlin Lucernas. I'm 11 years old. I want to be a teacher. My name is Jima Tahanlangit. I'm 13 years old. I want to be doctor.
Ako si Nick Michael. Ito ko. Ganahan ako edad. Ito ko mag-police. Ako si Janet. Class 7 ako edad. Ganahan ko mag-teacher.
My name is Jenny F. Boris, 14 years old. I want to become a stylist.
My name is Denise Hart Arelaya. I am 8 years old. My dream is to become a teacher.
Jonathan M. Bass. I am 13 years old. I want to be policeman.
Ako si Kayla K.P. Moso. Gusto ko maging teacher. My name is Misha Bacolod. I'm 11 years old. I want to be a flight attendant. My name is Monica Witakuloy. I'm 11 years old. I want to be policeman. Teresa Cario, graduate 7 years old. I need a pilot.
My name is Vince Jared Roa Alvarez. I'm 17 years old. I want to be a police.
Have you ever imagined that a place for the dead be considered a home for the living? When most of us enjoy the comforts of our home, with the well-ventilated and lighted rooms, where we can eat comfortably and sleep soundly at night, some of our fellow men hide under the darkness and horrors of the cemetery they call home. May be impossible to believe, but yes, places like this exist.
For 2 days, our team had experienced how it feels to live in Carreta Cemetery. We thought that the place we're about to discover and understand will just be the same with most of the cemeteries we visit, but it is not. More so of housing the dead, families were already living there for ages. They were born and raised and even formed their own families there. And I can't even imagine how hard it is to live there.
Our group had to limit the foods and drinks we take because there were no comfort rooms around. Even if there is one, there is no guarantee that you will have enough water to use. As we have seen, people have to wait for the nearby barangay to give the water hose, which provides the water supply in which they have to pay 6 pesos per gallon. There was no electric supply for the place and their lives have become worse as the pandemic continues to rise.
I have tried doing the work of the people there, and I can say that the money they earn does not equate to what they sacrifice. They became a stranger family of the dead. They clean the tombs and sleep above it. We cannot even fathom how uncomfortable it is to sleep at night.
We were able to talk with 2 children and a parent. And one thing that is common in what they express is their dream to go out on that cemetery and to be able to build their own homes away from the dead bodies. A home where their families can live happily. Their wishes are simple compared to most of the people. However, the opportunity of achieving it is really difficult to have. Life in Carreta is truly distressing and heartbreaking.
Every person has the right to life, survival, and development. However, we cannot neglect the fact that a great number of people are being deprived of these rights. Upon hearing the stories of 2 kids who have bright goals for their future, one can conclude that we can still do something for the people of Carreta. For no child deserves to be exposed to to various crimes and raid operations, for no person deserves to be shamed for living an unfortunate event.
So for me, watching this documentary is not only to make us realize how blessed we are compared to these people, but I think rather it signifies a wake-up call, like a call for action. I think what we should be asking to ourselves here is that what is really the root cause of this problem? What can we do for these people? Where do we go after this? After all, Nelson Mandela once said that as long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest.
This is not the end, but the beginning
Of a better tomorrow
for the people of Carreta.